Here's what most people miss about AI agents. They don't just answer questions, they make decisions, take actions, and learn from the results. I've been building these systems for over a year now, running an entire content operation where AI agents research topics, write scripts, generate visuals, and schedule posts, with me reviewing the final output. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how that works, and more importantly, how you can start building your own. Most people think AI is just a chatbot you type questions into. You ask it something, it responds, conversation over, but there's a completely different category of AI that almost nobody is talking about clearly. AI agents. These aren't chatbots. They're autonomous systems that can reason through problems, use tools, and actually complete multi-step tasks on their own. And the gap between people who understand this distinction and people who don't is about to become the biggest skill divide in tech. So let's break this down properly. Let's start with the fundamental difference, because this is where most explanations get it wrong. A regular AI chatbot, like when you open ChatGPT and ask it to write an email, is reactive. You give it input, it gives you output. One turn, done. It has no ability to go check your calendar, look up the recipient's last message, or actually send that email. It just generates text. An AI agent is fundamentally different. An agent can perceive its environment, reason about what to do, take actions using real tools, and then observe the results of those actions to decide what to do next. That loop is, perceive, reason, act, observe, is what makes something an agent rather than just a language model. Here's a concrete example. I run a system called Alme, one-man multi-agent empire. When I need to create a YouTube video, I don't sit there prompting a chatbot 50 times. I have an agent that researches trending topics using live data from X and Google Trends. A separate agent takes that research and writes a script. Another agent generates the voiceover, another creates the visuals, and an orchestrator agent coordinates all of them. Each one is making decisions, using tools, handling errors, and passing results to the next stage. That's agency. Every AI agent, whether it's simple or complex, is built from 4 core components. Understanding these 4 pieces is understanding the entire technology. First, a language model as the brain. This is the reasoning engine. It's what allows the agent to understand instructions, break down problems, and decide what to do next. Models like Claude, GPT-4, or Gemini serve as this brain. But here's the key insight. The model alone is not the agent. The model is one component. Second, tools. This is what gives the agent hands. Tools are functions the agent can call to interact with the real world. Reading files, searching the web, querying a database, sending an API request, running code. Without tools, the model can only generate text. With tools, it can actually do things. In my system, my content research agent has tools for accessing the X API, pulling Google Trends data, and reading files from my local drive. Those tools are what make it useful. Third, memory. Agents need to remember what they've done and what they've learned. There's short-term memory, the current conversation or task context, and there's long-term memory. Information persisted across sessions. My agents store research results, track which topics have been covered, and remember which content performed well. Without memory, an agent would repeat itself constantly and never improve. Fourth, like an orchestration layer. This is the logic that ties everything together. It defines what the agent should do, in what order, under what conditions, and how to handle failures. Think of it as the agent's playbook. When my video production agent encounters an API rate limit, the orchestration layer tells it to wait, retry, or switch to a backup service. Without orchestration, you just have a language model randomly calling tools. Now let's look under the hood at how an agent actually thinks through a problem. The most common pattern is called REACT. Reasoning plus acting. And once you understand this, everything about agents clicks. Here's how it works. The agent receives a task, say, find trending AI topics and write a content brief. The agent doesn't just immediately start writing. Instead, it thinks out loud. It reasons, I need to check what's trending first. I'll search recent AI news and X discussions. Then it acts. It calls a search tool. It observes the results. Then it reasons again. These three topics have high engagement. Topic 2 has less competition. I'll focus there. Then it acts again. It starts drafting the brief using that research. This reasoning trace, this internal monologue, is what separates agents from simple automation. Traditional automation follows rigid scripts. If step 2 fails, the whole thing breaks. An agent can adapt, it can try a different approach, it can recognize when results don't look right and course correct. I'll give you a real example from my own system. My research agent was pulling trends data and the API returned an error. The service was temporarily down. A rigid script would have crashed, but because the agent has reasoning built in, it recognized the failure, switched to a backup data source, noted in its output that the primary source was unavailable, and completed the task anyway. That adaptability is the entire point. Once you understand a single agent, the next level is understanding how multiple agents work together. And this is where things get genuinely powerful. A single agent is great for focused tasks, researching a topic, writing a document, analyzing data. But complex workflows need specialization. Just like a company doesn't have one person doing every job, a multi-agent system assigns different roles to different agents. In my AME system, I have a content generator agent that specializes in writing, a separate analytics agent that specializes in pulling metrics from YouTube and X, a video production agent that handles visual assembly, and an orchestrator agent that coordinates all of them, deciding what runs when, passing outputs between agents and handling the overall workflow. Why not just have one super agent do everything? 2 reasons. First, specialization means better results. An agent with a focused system prompt and specific tools for one domain outperforms a generalist agent trying to juggle everything. Second, reliability. If my video agent encounters an issue, it doesn't take down the research agent or the analytics agent. They're independent. The orchestrator can route around failures. This is actually how companies like Anthropic and OpenAI are building their most capable systems right now. Claude Code, for example, the tool I use daily, spawns sub-agents for different tasks. One agent explores the code base, another handles the implementation, another runs tests. They operate independently but coordinate through a shared context. Here's the practical part. You don't need to be a software engineer to start working with AI agents. The barrier to entry has dropped dramatically in the last year. The simplest way to start is with a tool like Claude Code or Cursor. These are coding environments where the AI already operates as an agent. It reads your files, writes code, runs terminal commands, and iterates on results. You're already working with an agent when you use these tools. Pay attention to how they reason and use tools. And that's the pattern. And if you want to build your own, the most accessible framework right now is the Anthropic Agent SDK or LangGraph. Both let you define agents in Python with just a few lines of code. You define the model, define the tools, which are just Python functions, and define the system prompt that tells the agent its role. That's genuinely it for a basic agent. But here's my honest advice from building these systems for over a year. Start with one agent doing one job well. Don't try to build a multi-agent empire on day one. Get a single agent that can reliably research topics or summarize documents or process your emails, make it robust, add error handling, add memory. Then and only then start connecting agents together. The other thing I'd emphasize is that the orchestration layer matters more than the model. I've seen people use the most expensive, most capable models and still get poor agent results because the orchestration was weak. Good tool definitions, clear system prompts, proper error handling, and well-designed workflows. That's what separates agents that actually work from agents that just look impressive in demos. Let's bring this all together. AI agents are autonomous systems that combine a language model brain with tools, memory, and orchestration to complete real-world tasks. They reason through problems using the react pattern, thinking, acting, observing, and adapting. Multi-agent systems take this further by assigning specialized roles to different agents coordinated by an orchestrator. The technology is accessible right now. You don't need to wait. Start with tools you already have, Claude Code, Cursor, or a simple Python script using an agent framework. Build one agent, make it reliable, then expand. In the next video, I'm going to walk through building a complete agent from scratch, step by step, that can research any topic, generate a summary, and email it to you automatically. If that sounds useful, subscribe so you don't miss it. I want to hear from you. What's the first task you'd automate with an AI agent? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one.